Well, might have been the exact same thing here as wave 2. Everybody thinks wave 3 is going to come out of this yellow circle, when instead, market crash, V-shaped recovery, sideways up. Everybody thinks wave 5, or a lot of people anyways, market crash, V-shaped recovery, sideways, then wave 5. If that plays out, that would be very wild, guys. I think it is pretty possible. What is up, guys? North Digital Assets coming at you with another video. In this video, we are going to cover the crypto market as a whole, and obviously we're going to focus on Bitcoin because all of your coins, all of the altcoins, they follow Bitcoin. 90+% of the time, almost always, they are following Bitcoin, and that is why we focus on Bitcoin. I don't own any Bitcoin at this point in time, but that is why we follow Bitcoin so closely, if you were wondering. Anyways, guys, this is going to be a good video. Got some good stuff for you. We're not going to really waste any more time bullshitting. We're just going to get into the video. We had the Luna ordeal, which is just insane. I don't know all the details of how it happened, why, and all that good stuff, but not good for the crypto market as a whole. Pretty crazy. It was a top 10 project worth like $60 billion, and the thing collapsed to zero, to almost non-existent. Thankfully, I've never once really thought about getting into Luna. I've never said buy a bunch of Luna. I've never really done videos on Luna. I've done videos on most of the other top projects, but Luna and Solana have never really been what I've wanted, and I still don't want Solana, and Luna hasn't been really in my wheelhouse either. So thankfully, that was the case, that I wasn't in it too much. I have no Luna. I didn't have any Luna, and sorry to anyone that did have Luna. Anyways, guys, let's dive into my main drawing. And I will say this, before you think North Digital Assets is wrong, he's been wrong this whole time, prices are down, he was wrong, he doesn't know what he's talking about, etc. Before you jump to that conclusion, let's take a look at what's actually going on and how I see the market and why my overall thesis really still hasn't changed. Not selling anything. I'm sticking with all my coins. You do what you want. And if you watch my old videos, guys, I always said I have 10, 20 different videos where I say, don't just follow me. Follow bears, follow bulls, follow moon boys, follow conservatives, follow a little bit of everyone. And I've said that in many, many old videos months and months ago. So continue to do that. But again, this is what I believe. This is what I see. And let's go through this here. I'll just make this real simple. Okay, we have the yellow circled here. We have, again, what am I basing all this stuff off? I'm going to try to run through this as fast as possible. So where do my fibs come from, okay? We have the all-time high in December 2013, and that is the top of the bull run, and then you have the bear market, and then you have the bottom. So all I do to do my fibs, all these fibs are based on is the 0 is set on the bottom of the bear, and the 1 is set at the top of the all-time high. So there it is. So the 1 is there and the 0 is at the bottom of the bear. Then you stretch out the fibs and it starts to determine where your levels are going to be for the next run. So what happened, guys, and we've talked about this many times, the 1 runs up to the 786, correct down. The 3 runs up to the 1618, correct down, and the 5 goes past the 2272 up here, and then you get the bear market after wave 5. Then what did I do? Again, the exact same thing over here. You're taking the all-time high. Here's the bear market. Here's the low. This was the 20,000. This was when you came all the way down to 3,000-ish. Okay, so my fibs, what are my fibs set off of in this current run? The 0 is off the bottom of the bear, and the 1, which is about 20,000, 19 and some change, is set off this, and then you stretch out the fibs. And what happened? What happened is, again, check it out, almost identical still. You run up to the 786, correct down. You run up to the 1618, just like the last run, correct back down, and then you run up to the 2272. Targets haven't changed. Anyways, that's what I've based all that off of. Now, again, like I've said in my videos, I've had expanded flat here for months. I didn't want an expanded flat. I wanted the running flat, but it doesn't matter what you want. But anyways, I've left that there because I always knew it could be a possibility. Again, the expanded flat is something like this, and you can see how it's dipped somewhat below these 20. These are the 2021 summer lows of Bitcoin in that 28,000 range. if you are going below those now, that is still technically okay for this ABC, no matter how crazy that sounds for wave 4 to finish. That is the expanded flat. And the expanded flat, see how these trend lines are going away from each other? It's expanding larger and larger the further you get away, okay? So the running flat would have been like this. At this point, it looks like we've lost that support. It's not the running flat. It could be this expanded flat. But the running flat is the case where you're coming up in this upward channel. Again, why 4 is more shallow is because 2 was so fast and so deep, okay? Now I'm going to show you something else that is really awesome here is look, this is what I think, I think part of what kind of tricked me and what kind of tricked a lot of people, okay? Wave 1 up to 786, correct back down. All right, people are thinking correction's over. Okay, here comes wave 3 out of this yellow bubble. Because look, you're starting to grind up. Oh, here comes wave 3. Everybody get excited. No, market crash all the way down here, V-shaped recovery, then the real wave 3. So what are we waiting on right now? Look. Okay, you think this is the ABC, A, B, C. Okay, look, okay, yellow. Look, guys, wave 5 started right out of yellow. Wave 5 started. No. Market crash. What we want? V-shaped recovery. Sideways. Real wave 5. Okay? Coming up. Fake out. Market crash. V-shaped recovery. Sideways. Real wave 3. That is what we want, guys. Is that what we're seeing right now? And if that's the case, guys, if that's the case, and that's what ends up playing out. Because, okay, buying the purple box is technically then, in that case, if that plays out, the best time to ever DCA. That is the opportunity. Will Clemente with the post the other day about unloading a lot of his cash, a lot of dry powder into this, okay? Will Clemente, that guy is very, very wise beyond his years. He's young, but he knows his shit. Check him out on Twitter, Will Clemente. But anyways, if this does play out everything I just showed, then that means the purple box is the best time to DCA, whether that's 28,000, 26,000, 25,000, because all of it is still fair play for the expanded flat. And again, the expanded flat is the B comes above the 3, but the bottom of 4 goes below A. And basically, yes, basically what I'm saying is here and here, you extend past this line a little bit, and you extend past that line a little bit on the down and the up. Okay, so it's all still fair play of Elliott wave theory that I still see that wave 5. But if we get that V-shaped recovery, whales are buying. You can see that public knowledge. You can see whales are buying this level up, and they're buying it up just like in this area here. Okay. Again though, I do see wave 5 still playing out at some point. I'm holding everything entirely too risky to get out of all your positions after everything, after all the waiting and all the patience that we've had and trying to figure out this wave 4, thinking, oh, maybe the correction could be over back in here, and oh, thinking that the correction's over in here and we're going to run out of this yellow circle. Well, might have been the exact same thing here as wave 2. Everybody thinks wave 3 is going to come out of this yellow circle, when instead, market crash, V-shaped recovery, sideways up. Everybody thinks wave 5, or a lot of people anyways, market crash, V-shaped recovery, sideways, then wave 5. If that plays out, that would be very wild, guys. I think it is pretty possible. Again, no rules have really been broken. This 28,891, what I see right now where we're at here, I see it as support, okay? I'm seeing this. Again, all this 28, 29 through last summer, and now I'm seeing it as coming down into it as support, okay? I'm not seeing it yet as its resistance where, okay, now you're under it, you hit 28, you go down to 26, you hit it again, and then you start to roll towards 20. I'm not seeing that right now. What I am seeing is more of a support out of a expanded flat. So expanded flat, a known pattern for a correction wave to finish before the next major wave. Let's look at the DXY. The DXY itself, this is a very simplistic view of what could happen, but the DXY, to me, when this thing does correct, it will be the fuel. It will be the fuel for crypto. Very simple here, guys. The DXY corrects down to the EMAs. Usually it'll take weeks or months for the DXY to correct down, the dollar to correct down. during those weeks or months, when it happens, I don't know when that's going to happen. It's anyone's guess, but when the DXY corrects, it gives crypto that momentum, and when it gets that momentum, it will actually come out of wave 4, and we won't have to falsely call wave 5 anymore, where I've said wave 5 is starting. I think it's starting. I'm not exactly sure, but it looks like it's starting, and all this and that. That would just give it that fuel where 28K or 25K in that range, that's fair game too, because again, I explained the expanded flat where, okay, it is supportive. You start to move up, and with this DXY correction and that fuel you're getting for Bitcoin in the crypto market, when it starts to run up, you will prove that wave 5 has started. Yes, it's a pretty simplistic view because all the markets in the world and the Fed and everything that's going on, and interest rates, everything that's going on, it's very complex, but I'm giving you like the very simplistic view of how I'm looking at it. DXY corrects, crypto 99% of the time runs up when the DXY corrects for either weeks or months, gets it out of the hole, gives it that support, brings back some momentum, brings back a little bit of FOMO, brings back the interest, crypto starts to move, and yeah, just waiting on that really. Let's see here. What is the DXY doing? What I'd like to see is it's flat here at 100 on the weekly. We want it to start correcting. We want to get that momentum back down so we already had this huge time where it was up here. We wanted to do this, and we want it to start to roll down to here, and this will give us at least weeks and weeks and weeks crypto momentum. So this would give us weeks and weeks and weeks of crypto momentum, and that's what we need. We need this to roll over. Worst case scenario moving forward would be if this comes down, bounces like off this blue band around that 70, comes back to 100 one more time, and then you start to go down. And that would take a while, and that would mean crypto probably won't have much momentum over the next weeks or months. Let's see what the DXY does. Let's look at it at the daily, and then I'll wrap up this video. Nothing really right now. Just kind of sitting sideways, but it could kind of sit sideways and then continue its run. We'll just have to wait and see. It's very complex and very hard to predict what the DXY is going to do while these other currencies are losing value, trying to keep up with the dollar. So we'll see what happens, guys. But anyways, I will be buying now. I will be buying Bitcoin 25,000. I'll be buying in that range. I think we're going to get a correction at some point. I mean, look at this thing. Look at this thing. We've been running here. We've been running since May 21. We've been running. So we'll see what happens. Starting to float up here. The weekly is even more ridiculous. There is almost no time in history on the DXY back into the 60s, 1970s, 1980s, where you're floating like this and you don't come back down. That's like almost impossible to find. There is no time. You can go all the way back to the 60s, 70s, 80s, wherever you want to go. You can go look. 2009, you come up here, where you go eventually, you come back to the EMAs, and then come back up, you eventually, I mean, you correct. I mean, look through the entire history of the DXY, and that's what you get. You always get these corrections. It's coming at some point, just don't know when, but this thing is floating way above the 20, way above the 55. I know this isn't a stock or a crypto, but this thing will correct, it will correct, and it will correct, and crypto will run when that happens. I've laid these charts over each other before. They are inversely correlated. I've laid them over each other before. And I will tell you this also, guys. Credible Crypto, a lot of the stuff I put out is it's very similar to what Credible Crypto is putting out. Follow him. He's got some good stuff. If you're not following Credible Crypto, he doesn't really do many YouTube videos at all. He hasn't released a YouTube video in like 5 months, but his stuff is really good. He actually predicted this entire thing. He predicted it back here in June 2018, where you're going to come up, hit this triangle, bounce back in it, and then you were going to drop way back down, okay? And there was a lot of people that were not saying that at all. That video only has 2,000 views. He really knows his shit. What I'm talking about is this Wave 5 stuff is very similar to everything he has about expanded flats and some of this other stuff. So follow him. He's got a great track record. He's predicted a lot of stuff in the past. And again, the video where he predicted this stuff, only 2,000 views on YouTube, some of his old videos, only 2,000 views, which is just insane to me. Very underrated, really knows his stuff. I think we'll get this Wave 5 still. I'll be buying these dips. Again, the expanded flat, if I put this out like this, like all this is fair game, because that is how the expanded flat works, where you come up into it, A, B, C, the B overextends here, the C overextends here, which is fine. Then you get the wave after this V-shaped recovery. So we'll see if I can predict this stuff like Nostradamus or if I'm naive. We'll see. Anyways, guys, I'll be buying this stuff up. Thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking with me. I hope you stick with my channel. And before you jump to conclusions about I was wrong, or this person was wrong, or they were wrong, or they don't know what they're talking about, etc., give it a little bit more time. It's too small of a sampling plan. Just here, just 30 days ago, 30, 40 days ago, just here, we were just at 46,000 Bitcoin, 48,000 Bitcoin. And yes, now we are down, but 30 days is just way too small of a sampling plan, or a time horizon, or whatever different terms you want to look at. It's way too small. Give it a second. Let it find support. Give it May, June, July. Give it some time. If Bitcoin and crypto does nothing in May, June, July, August, September, October, come back and tell me I was wrong. But that's fine. But give it some time. Don't get too emotional, and before you jump to any conclusions about I was wrong, or this person's wrong, or that person's wrong, or there is no wave 5, etc., 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 I will be buying the dip. I'll be buying this. I'll be buying the other dips. I'll be buying 25,000 if that happens, because that's fair game in this expanded flat, and I'm going to keep accumulating, guys. So do what you want, but I am very bullish moving forward. Whales are buying this up just like they were buying this up, and what happened? We ran to 69K, but this wave 5 will run much higher than that. Targets haven't changed, and stay safe out there, guys, and keep doing research, keep learning, and thanks for following. Smash up the like button, click subscribe, leave a comment below. We'll see you in the next video. See ya.